Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. The Sicilian defense controls the d4 square with c-pawn. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center to prepare for a d4 pawn push, where the knight will recapture if black captures on d4. d6 opens up the light-squared bishop and prevents white from pushing the pawn to e5 after black eventually plays knight f6. d4 offers to trade the d-pawn for the c-pawn, giving up a center pawn for more active pieces. C takes d4 gives black 2 central pawns versus 1 central pawn for white. Knight takes d4 recaptures the pawn and activates the knight in return for having 1 central pawn versus black's 2 central pawns. Knight f6 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the undefended e4 pawn. Knight c3 defends the e4 pawn and starts to develop on the queen side. Knight c6 attacks the d4 knight and supports the e5 square. Bishop e2 develops the bishop and prepares castling. e5 takes space in the center, attacks the knight on d4, and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Knight b3 retreats the attacked knight to the queen side, where it controls the a5, c5, and d4 squares. Bishop e7 develops the dark-squared bishop and prepares to castle. White develops the bishop and attacks the center. Castling kingside helps to complete your development. Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. You are threatening to win a knight through a fork. After all captures, this is an equal trade. That was a fair trade. This is an equal trade. Recapturing. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. You offered your opponent an opportunity to exchange pieces of equal value. White activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. Your rooks are connected, which helps them work together. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse. The only move, and you found it. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. You lost your advantage, and now the position is balanced. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. You are threatening to capture a bishop and win material after the follow-on trades. After all captures, this is an equal trade. You take back. This moves the pawn to safety. You are threatening to tactically win a pawn. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. The bishop finds a new active square. Good job defending that pawn. This misses an opportunity to eventually win a pawn. Your move fights for the control of the open file. This is not the right idea. You create space for the king to move in case it is attacked. This offers an equal trade of pieces. That was an even swap of material. Takes back. Nice, definitely the right move. The piece finds a new active square. You are threatening to tactically win a pawn. This permits the opponent to win a rook by overloading a defender. Now your opponent's piece is overloaded, so you will win a rook. This removes the attacking queen. Yes, this is the way. This steps away from the checking rook. The attacker is now off the board, keeping your piece safe. This captures a rook and eliminates a threat. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. Your rook takes an open file, a good way to activate the rook. This steps away from the checking rook. Nice, definitely the right move. This steps away from the checking knight. This pin holds their knight in place, tying it to the king. White has got a strong protected passed pawn. That pawn was yours for the taking.